Did you check out the Trick Williams dropped a diss track to Pete Dunne?
I saw that he dropped it. I did not listen to it, but I did see that it
yeah.
happened.
I would take the time to listen to it. It's cheesy, funny, but kind of good.
Yeah.
It's definitely that good and bad territory. The hook in it kind of keeps me. It's been stuck in my head because he's like, "You can't beat me, Petey. You want to see me if you want to beat me, Petey." And then he does it over I can't think. It's like a 50 Cent song. Is it? What beat is that? I'm trying to figure out what beat. I can't remember that beat. I'm
yeah, that's some New York stuff though. That definitely sounds like some Little Kim or like 50 that era for sure.
What you done made me do?
It sounds like some 50. I can't remember. That's not 50. That either 50 or Fat Joe. Nah. I can't think of the sample right now, and that's slacking on me. But what do you think of the diss?
I think I will listen to it later, but just hearing that little snippet already, I'm just like, yeah, I'm sure it's corny, but that's the exact skill level that you want for wrestling. You know, it's just a vignette. You know what I mean? So
it is funny because there's a lot of NXT wrestlers in there. He obviously has his girl in there. What is the
Dakota Jackson is in it. Lash Legend is in it.
Yeah, Tony D'Angelo's in it.
Oh, is he?
And I'm like, why is Tony D'Angelo in this?
I see Pete Dunne put up any NXT training in that video.
Yeah,
it's on
site. Yeah, Nikita Lyons is in it. I'm like, you hurt? Like, what are you doing?
It's on site. It's crazy. Like, he really hurt his feelings with that.
Oh yeah, man. Like Pete Dunne, and there's a lot of people online that were talking about like Pete Dunne needs to come out with a diss track back, and it's good. It's funny. I find it funny out of all of it. It's corny, but I find it funny and entertaining. So I'll definitely spend the time if I was you to check out the diss track.
No, I will. The last thing I had on here for the show was Mid's standard stable Trick and Pete Dunne getting their match again, but ending in a double count out. So if
How do
anything,
you feel about that?
I mean, I'm glad you asked this question because I personally like a double count out and AEW using like the time limit, like just as part of storyline. Like, don't have it happen unless, you can build something off of that or you plan to do that. Because a double count out to me, that tells me Falls Count Anywhere match. That's all that says.
Yeah.
So, and we know that this is a rivalry that they've been brewing up. They've been attacking each other. You know what I'm saying? Trick cost Pete Dunne a chance at the title. Hit him with that trick knee. Like, it goes back. So yeah, they need to get their anger out. That's all it is. And they were so destructive that neither one of them could stand. I doubt they bring back a last man standing match in NXT. So we'll just call it Falls Count Anywhere or however they want to say. No
last man standing match.
Have they had one?
I don't know if they had one at NXT, but like it's not like last man standing matches be on WWE.
I'm just wondering. I'll just look that up real quick. When is the last man standing?
I feel like we recently had one, like within like the last year or two. But the reason I asked the question about how do you feel about the double count out, I don't mind double count outs. I didn't like how this one kind of played out. I thought the double count out happened a little too quick.
Okay.
And I think it's more a personal style and taste because they were on the guardrails outside by the commentary, and then they do a what do you call it?
Russian leg sweep. Russian leg sweep
into the table, and then 2 seconds afterwards, the ref already had counted to 10.
Yeah.
And then had called a double count out. And so again, more for how my style would have been and how I like double count outs. I like the aspect of like, I wish the ref was at like 5 on the count.
Yeah.
Then they went through the table and then they try to crawl into the ring and neither of them made it. So I don't mind the double count out. I just wish I wish it just didn't happen as soon as they went into the table. Because it made it feel like watching it, it made it feel like that we were kind of getting through that the Fiend and Seth Rollins in the Hell in a Cell match
Hmm.
when like Seth went through the cage and it was like, oh, we got to call the match off, and it's like, bro, this is a Hell in a Cell match. We don't call no
What are
Hell in
you
a Cell
talking
match.
about?
So that's where I was like, the timing of them calling the 10 count and then them falling, it felt too coordinated. And
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I'd rather have seen that struggle to get into the ring.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And you are right, not last year, but 2 years ago, NXT Roadblock. So that was the most recent one. Already was on NXT. That was Grayson Waller beating LA Knight.
Ah. Yeah.
The last
See,
one
'cause I
that
think
mattered. The last one that mattered. Roman beating Kevin Owens for the Universal title,
that was
January
COVID year.
31st. Yeah,
Yeah.
2021. So
Yeah, that
3
was a
years
big
since
one.
the main roster.
But that is my only problem with that. It's
Yeah.
just I wish the count out was a little bit more drawn out.